Hello everyone! Today I'm gonna build the smallest kitchen you've ever seen in a van, and you might be wondering where on earth am I gonna fit a kitchen since the bed extends all the way to the other wall. And my idea is to make a kitchen that can actually lower itself. You might be thinking, Marina, you're overcomplicating your life. Why do you need a kitchen inside such a small van? Can't you do one of those portable kitchens? Can't you do some of those drawers that you pull out and then you can use the kitchen from outside the van? Those are all super clever ideas and they look lovely, but for me, having lived in a van, and I mean lived in it, not just camping for a few days, and especially having traveled in colder climates with a lot of rain, having an outdoor kitchen, it is a pain in the ass, because if it rains you can't, or if it's windy, then you can't really use it because the wind, you know, will switch off your fire and the rain's gonna get to it, and it's not very pleasant to be outside to, you know, just boil some water. And if you want to stay in like a more urban area, again, you have to open the whole thing up and show everybody that your van is a camper van, and you can't do that like in very urban areas, like in the parking in front of a school or something like that, just when you want to eat something. And to me, more than cooking is the washing that is really important. I really wanted to have an area where I can at least wash my hands and brush my teeth. That is all I need. And for the cooking, I'm actually not gonna have a fixed cooking. For that I'm gonna use a camping stove, but at least I will have an area where to put it if I want to cook inside. And yes, the only thing that's gonna be kind of fixed, but not really, is a sink with a waste tank. I just hope it works. But anyway, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and now I just need to try and see if it works. Otherwise I will just be kitchenless and I won't be able to eat hot food for a while. I'm working on the frame of the kitchen, and I wanted to show you just what my vision is. So this is the kitchen. You can imagine it with the sink on it, and this is the height of the kitchen when the bed is extended on top of it. And then when I want to make it higher, there's two parts. There's a top box and there's a bottom structure, and basically my idea is that I can just pull the top structure up. I made a little step over there and kind of make it sit on top of the structure on the bottom, and in here I'm gonna fastening using those winged bolts and nuts, and I'm thinking that I will probably need to add a middle leg as well, a removable leg. And then when I want to have the big bed, I can just make it lower, and again you can put the thing on top. And honestly, for the life of me, I cannot figure out if this is a genius idea or a very stupid idea. I guess we will find out. Okay, here's the kitchen when it's standing up. Now I'm gonna cut a leg so that I can add it in the middle when it's up, and then when it's down you can just remove it. And I think I might also go ahead and cut the hole for the sink so that I can get a greater picture of how I'm gonna be able to fit everything when the kitchen is closed. That is the real challenge. Actually, I'm gonna cut the sink hole first, and by sink I mean a kitchen bowl. This was €4, and I just got a standard sink hole thing, and I'm just gonna make a hole on the bowl with this. This is not for metal, it's for wood, but I hope it's gonna work. And then hopefully this will fit, and then on here we'll put just a rubber pipe that is gonna go into the waste tank, if I can fit one. But yes, it's very simple, less than €10 for a sink. You can buy sinks that are specific for camper vans that are small and cute, but they are so expensive. They're like 300 plus euros. So that is my way for saving a little bit of money. Let's see if it works. Now the cap is on, so no water should come out. Ah! There's no leaks. Seems to be doing good. Now let's open it. Woo! It's perfect. I'm just gonna add some silicone on the bottom just to seal this part here and make sure that there's no leaks. But I'm so pleased with this. Honestly, for the price, bargain. The kitchen is nearly finished. I have added the sink, I fixed it, and then I added the tube to go to on the waste tank, and I also added a tiny little table over here that's gonna be handy, and I made just a wooden holding thing. And now the last thing that I need to do is to add a curtain. I'm gonna be using those U-shaped PVC bits to create a curtain rail. The reason why I'm using this instead of a real curtain rail is just because this was €1, €1.50 a piece, and the curtain rails are really expensive. And in the middle, I'm gonna be putting those curtain rings, and then to those I'll be attaching the curtains. And then in front, I'm gonna put a little trim so that you can't see it. No guns, I'll fight it, I'll fight it. Is in, so I'm gonna show you how it works and how I've done everything. As you can see, here is where the two boxes are attached, and it's quite a sturdy method. I find it doesn't move much, so I'm quite happy with that. And I use those on the bottom as well, just to fix them to the floor. Under it we have a leg just to give it some more stabilization, and then we have a 5-liter waste tank water. I will only have the waste tank water, and I won't have any kind of pump because I don't have electricity in this van. That is really all I need. I did want to have the waste water tank just because if you're washing your teeth, or if you need to get the water out of the pasta and it's raining, or if you are somewhere where there's people around, you don't want to get out of the van to do that. So this is why I really wanted the waste tank. And I'm not using another tank for fresh water, because in that case I would have to put some kind of pump, and I don't have an electrical system in this van. That's something that I wanted to talk about and I forgot. So let's do it now. I decided not to put an electrical system just because honestly I don't think it's worth it in such a small van. It's not worth putting a second battery. There's already so little space. So I'm purely gonna use either my Jackery or my Bluetti power banks. I think I'm gonna use the Bluetti mainly because it has a more compact design, although I do love the Jackery as well. So that's what I'm gonna be using for lights, for powering, you know, my laptop, for recharging my camera and all of that stuff. And honestly, if you are thinking of converting a van of this size, I wouldn't even think, I wouldn't bother about the electrical system, adding lights and things like that, unless you need to power like fridges and stuff like that, but I doubt you would have a fridge in such a small van. So this is how the kitchen looks when it's on the upside, which is gonna be the way that I'm gonna be seeing it most of the time when I'm traveling on my own. But then, if I want to make the bed larger, I'm gonna show you how I make this smaller. To lower the kitchen, you just need to undo those winged bolts on both sides, and honestly this is not the most practical solution. It does take a little while to get them out and to get them back in, but as I said, this is not the way that I'm gonna be, you know, I'm not gonna lower it every time that I'm using van. It's just for special occasions. Do it on the other side as well. Need to remove the leg in the middle. There you have it. Of course, when you do this, you need to remove anything that is too high from under the kitchen. So again, it is a few steps. I'm gonna admit it is not the most practical thing in the world, but it does give you the option of having a big bed, and to me, it is totally worth it. So satisfying. That's when the bed is fully out. You can see that the kitchen is under here, just chilling, and yeah, I am kind of done. I'm gonna show you another few things that I've done, and that's it. I think this is gonna be the last of the van conversion videos, and I'll probably see you on the road. To separate the driving cab from the back, I just put a curtain rail, like those plastic rails. I thought it would be flexible enough, but actually it drove me mad to put in because it wasn't that flexible, but it works. And it's really easy this way to use the curtains, and those are black on the back and then white on front. And I added a little trim on top just because there was still this much gap between the wood and the curtain, and again you can see the light that way, so I added a trim, and actually I added it today, and I varnished it and everything, and I think the varnish is just gonna flake off because it's 0 to 1 degree today, and you're not supposed to use varnish unless it's like 15 degrees upwards. Anyhow, there still were gaps, so I thought of putting just a fake plant, because I mean it wouldn't be a van, right, if there wasn't a fake plant. And I also added some fairy lights because again, you just have to. And so that is for the front, and the sides of the curtains, I'm just using magnets for pretty much everything in this van because they are removable, and yeah, I couldn't think of any other way to attach curtains without magnets. So this is what I'm using on the sides of the curtains. And then for the endless other windows, I struggled because I had an idea and that didn't work, and so I was running out of time, and this is the next best idea that I found. So my idea has been, again, to use magnets to attach fabric. Those windows are actually already blacked out. They have like a plastic peel on it, I don't know how you call it, but it's definitely not enough to cut off light, so I just made those little fabric curtains, and they're made to the shape of the window. And then I will just, where are the magnets? I'll just put lots of magnets all around it, and those are strong magnets. They are 6 to 10 kilos magnets, because you don't want to buy the cheap magnets. They're not gonna hold anything in place. So this is how it looks, and in here on the bottom there's actually a little stick of wood inside. It's a little round of wood that weighs, it weighs the fabric down, so that's a little trick. And then you can just roll them up, and I've put those ribbons here so you can just tie it together. And this is not for at night, because at night with this fabric you can still see through, but this is for during the day, when I don't want people to see inside, but I do want some lights to filter through, because again, even with the window that is blacked out, you can still see everything inside. So if I wanted to, you know, change my clothes, then people will be able to see inside. And then for the night, I just cut, I'm gonna show you, wait. I just went and bought some thermal fabric, and honestly this is not very fancy. I just cut it to the shape of the windows, and again I'm gonna, this is not the right one for this. No, oh yes it is. So no, it's not. Anyway, I would just put it on the window and then attach it with the magnets, and that is pretty much it. This does block the light. I tried it. So with the curtains in front, with this and this, then I will be able to stealth camp without people seeing that there's a light inside. And yeah, it's not, I'm not 100% happy with the solution. But again, I was rushed, and I didn't have enough mental energy to think about anything else. And again, this makes it removable, so anytime that I'm not using this as a camping van, then I can just remove everything and it looks like just a normal van. So that's that.